Traffic light problems there, that's all been sorted. Coming into town, Newmarket Road, heading up to the roundabout at East Road, that is building up and starting to back up on you. Hills Road, it's all misbehaving the other way around this morning, northbound coming in between Queenie this way and Gonville Place, traffic is building up there. And as always, it's slow going on the Babram Road coming into Cambridge, northbound between the Gog roundabout and Addenbrooke's Hospital. No problem on the buses, on the trains. East Coast, one or two delays to services down to King's Cross from Glasgow. First Capital Connect are saying that engineering work around St Pancras International and London Bridge could cause delays to services to and from Cambridge throughout the day. And indeed, Peterborough to London King's Cross services are being affected already. Okay, if you know something we don't and you think the rest of Cambridge ought to hear about it, please text me here in the studio. That number again is 07919 070 490. 07919 070 490. You let us know and we'll tell the rest of Cambridge all about it. Right, my guest in the studio this morning is Fonz Chamberlain. Fonz is from the Cambridge Time Traveller Group. We were talking earlier about this an interesting project. And is it unique now to Cambridge?
Yeah. Well, no, it's expanding. It's going national. All over UK. All over UK. We've actually started to develop a Northampton Time Traveller Group.
Oh right.
And in Cambridge, it's really hard because it was the first thing. It was like get people to notice it. Whereas the group, even though the people were involved with it, it was like the press coverage, but the press is all over in Northampton.
Really?
It hasn't even developed yet. It's only like a few people getting together. So we want to repeat what's happening in Cambridge coming out. As soon as they got hold of it, it was all over BBC Northampton, all over the newspaper.
And is this people coming to you, or are you going to people?
It's people coming to us, really. A lot of people.
Because you've got this proven formula now. You know what you're doing. And
that's right. Yeah, but now we've got loads of people coming right across. It's overwhelming contacts.
That's good. So have you got places? Have you got your own little list of places that you'd like to start a time traveller group?
Me, it was just all about Cambridge. It's overwhelming. It's brilliant. It's expanding. It's a wonderful thing. It's been able to do that. But to me, it's always been about Cambridge.
So you're looking for Fonzes around the country, are you?
So if there's a Fonz in Northampton, well, we know there's a Fonz in Northampton. If there's one in Bedfordshire, anywhere, please do contact us. Or if you know, of course, it's Cambridge. Anybody in Cambridge who knows somebody in those areas, so contact us. And we'll definitely help them develop it there.
Okay, let's talk about this new project you've got underway then.
Well, it's working in partnership, of course we've worked with Cambridge 105, it's actually working in partnership with Cambridge First newspaper, which is like a new weekly paper that's come out, and it's about recording. We wanted a different slant on history. It's like, because you can tell history, of course I could tell you about Cambridge history all day long, but it's about today's future history, and it's about getting people involved recording today. So we want to record a year in the life of Cambridge in pictures, and we're inviting the community of Cambridge, all over Cambridgeshire, it doesn't matter what age you are, especially if you're a child, adult or whatever, we want to get everybody to be different age groups, and at the end of it all, the prize is given out like top of the range camera equipment for people, so at the end of the year there's going to be a panel to pick them, and we want people just taking pictures of everyday life. It could be a place, a building, a place you work, your street, anything, and to get people to take pictures of Cambridge and send them to us. From the 2nd of March, the article, we get start with a 4-page article, and I get to pick 6 of them out, and one of them, I can pick a main one where I can actually write a bit of history. So if it's like, for instance, off the top of my head, say it's Burley Street, like the Co-op Bank at the top of Burley Street, that used to be the Foresters Public House. So if somebody did that, I give the history of how it was the public house beforehand. So that sort of thing. And then all the rest will be downloaded to either both the Cambridge Time Traveller Group website and the Cambridge First website. Okay,
so the details on this, and just recap on it again for us. When does it start? What do they got to do? And where do they send the pictures?
Well, they can send the pictures now. If you go out now, start taking the pictures. We're starting to accept them now to start building, and the actual article starts on the 2nd of March. It's open to all age groups. You don't have to be a professional. You can take them on your phone. It's just everyday people just taking pictures. You don't think that, oh, I'm no good at taking pictures. It's not about that. It's just about recording.
It's catching the moment.
It's catching the moment. Yeah. So if something interesting is going, get it down. Even if it's you and your mates having a good old time in Cambridge, like.
Oh, I can't imagine that happens. Can you? Load of students around the place. I can't imagine that happens. Okay, I mean, people must send you pictures of. Do you recognise this doorway or something? How is that a challenge to you, or does it get on your nerves?
Well, I've had a picture from a lady just recently of I can't remember the street off the top of my head what she sent me, but it's took in 2 different decades. To me, she doesn't know when they were took. To me, one looks like the 1930s and one looks like the 1950s. I like how you pinpoint certain things in the pictures. And in the 1930s, it's this big ring structure. in the middle of the picture, but by 1950s it's gone, and at the minute she's like stumped me a little bit because I'm trying to find out. So she's listening, I'm looking into it. So yeah, I'm trying to find out what that is and why it's there for, and how come it suddenly disappeared.
But great detective work, and presumably you might uncover something that, if it wasn't for you doing that, would just be lost forever and actually never spotted.
Definitely, I've been lost in time.
So if people have got a mysterious thing, if they've got like a funny brick pattern in the wall or something like that, you're the bloke to answer that one, are you?
I'll try my best, yeah. I can't always guarantee it, but I'll try my best, yeah. But so, if anybody has pictures, to send them to us, definitely.
Okay, now if you were a musician, I would say choose your favourite track. As you're not, you're a historian. Favourite history bit about Cambridge? It could be a place, it could be a time, it could be an event. I know it's 800 years of history at least, but...
If I had to pick, well, if an event that I could be involved with in history, it's go back to the 15th of February 1967 to actually see Jimi Hendrix play at the Dorothy Ballroom.
Hey.
I'd love to have seen that. But a street, two streets I would have liked to walk down because they've changed so much. It's probably Petty Curie before the redevelopment.
Cool, yes.
And see how it was, like the Line Hotel, and like I've heard so much about McFisheries down there, and Joe Lyon's tea rooms and places like that, and the Civic Restaurant, and of course down Fitzroy Street.
Yeah.
Before the Crafton was there.
I mean, my wife, we're not local. I mean, I don't think anybody who's lived in Cambridge, unless they were born here, is ever going to be counted as local. But we've lived here 10 years, and we are constantly amazed at the absolute atrocities that have been committed in Cambridge when it comes to architectural, when it comes to what they must have knocked down and what they put in its place. And
well, one of the actual really good stories is a building that would have loved to have been kept here. At the top of Petty Curie was a public house called the Wrestlers, and that's where the post office was put, and it was known as being one of the finest buildings in Cambridge. And
so they knocked it down.
They knocked it down. Well, it was before like preservation orders and things.
Sure.
So and it was sold to Robert Sales, and he sort of had it knocked down in the post office. But I've seen, there's no photos exist of it. I've only seen drawings. And it's such a wonderful building.
And as you say, things like the old Joe Lyon's tea rooms,
Yeah.
McFisheries, from what I remember of McFisheries from my days when I grew up in London, they would be very heavily tiled and really beautiful buildings to go into. And if anyone's got any pictures like that, I suppose there's never such a thing as not a good picture that wouldn't do it yet.
No,
anything.
Any picture, even if it's a little bit out of focus, it shows. But if anybody has pictures, to send them to yourpictures@cambridgetimetraveller.com. That's your pictures at cambridgetimetraveller.com.
Okay.
And if it's old pictures, we'll definitely add them to the website in our archive. And if it's present day pictures, they could feature in the Cambridge First and actually could win you a prize at the end of the year.
Fantastic stuff. Listen, Fonz, stick around. Thanks for coming in this morning, but we'll catch up with you again a little bit later on.
Okay.
And if you want those details, cambridgetimetraveller.com is the website, so do just wander on there. Take a look at what Fonz and all his crew are up to.
Best music.